Hey, what's going on, guys? Enzo Real Estate LaRocca here with some tips for today. It's been a while since I dropped any tips. Getting a couple of messages a week for agents to meet up and talk about partnering up, even though we're not in the same brokerage. And I love it. I love the ability for people in the agency to start working together finally. So long, agents have just been so selfish and greedy, and there's plenty of deals out there and money out there. And if we work together, we'll be on the same page in a way. And in the same sense with that, we actually will produce, the ability to give the customer, the client, a better experience, instead of getting all this mixed signals and mixed information. Some of the questions that I get are exactly like, what am I doing online? Like, what am I doing differently that other people are not doing in terms of my marketing and my branding? Well, I'm doing a lot of trial and error. I have an advantage because I came from a television, film background and art background, but I do spend a lot of hours playing with apps, playing with video apps, editing apps. I take an afternoon off sometimes every once in a while to try something, and if I no longer like an app, I will just discard it. I don't try to be perfect. I just try to be good at what I do, and I don't look to worry about if people like my video or not. I just document it because I'm going to learn as I go along. I see a lot of people out there running to these top producer seminars, and they're great because it's a good culture to get motivated by, right? But a lot of people there, forget that these top producer seminars are difficult because a couple things. One, they're too big now. They're so big that they're not small, they're not personal anymore. We can really ask solid questions. They're quick stories, and at the end, you're sent somewhere to actually to buy a product at the end. You don't want to buy a product at the end most of the time. Most of the information there is dead information. Because I can tell you right now that in the real estate market, there is, in fact, no experts in the real estate market. There's experts that figured out the solution in their neighborhood, in their city during that time, but there's no such thing as experts. Interest rates change, prices change, construction costs change, property taxes change, trends, marketability of what people want changes. The whole market constantly is changing. So you can't be an expert real estate agent. You can be an expert thinker that's expert at being proactive. So when you go to those big seminars, you're not going to be saved. You're not going to find the answer or the one all be all. But do yourself the due diligence of listening to everything, start to finish, read all the books, figure out what made them so good at that time, and then imagine your success like a cup. The cup is your road, your destination, and the water in it is your logic, your experience, and your results. But the water is never in there. It's always half full. So when you go to these events, just imagine that no matter everything you took in, it only filled the cup a little bit. After that, it's up to you to fill it with your experience, your trial and error to try to be better. And here's the thing, it's like in the real estate industry, since the industry is always changing, metaphorically speaking, like water always evaporates into the atmosphere, the same thing with the knowledge. It evaporates, it changes, and that's why that water will never be fully filled. You're always going to be learning, you're always going to be evaporating and shrinking down, so you have to constantly play this marathon of refilling it by educating yourself. That's the way that I approach learning in the industry. And the other thing is that's how I approach learning how to use my apps. What else can I tell you today? Where everybody's running, don't run there. I mean, you can a little bit, but make sure you have somebody running in the opposite direction, because if you run where the market's going, chances are you will produce, providing you find you're going to be put in a realm of competition. But if you run where the market's going, learn how to be creative so you can outproduce the people in there, but send somebody else back the other direction where everybody ran from, because there's still money to be made there. There's still deals going to happen there. None of these, most people right now are running to Florida, running to Texas, running to Carolina, massive move outs of New York and New Jersey all the time. Everyone's like, I got to jump on the bandwagon. New York, if you're not paying attention, give me an example. There's a lot of big wigs moving in, a lot of big companies moving in. They're not moving in for a month. They're moving in there. So you need to be figuring out what the next best way of representing them, what the next type of target demographic is going to be over there. Pay attention. So send somebody back home to see where, what the part of the market could be doing. And the only way to get really good at a lot of these things, honestly, guys, you're going to have to build a team. So my suggestion to you is this. In the real estate market, there's not a lot of integrity among agents, because a lot of agents, this is their livelihood, and they're sweating inside looking for deals, and they got to feed their families, and they know that in order to be successful in real estate, it takes a lot more volume. In order to get volume of people, you can't spend a lot of time with people. that may not do a deal and you lose your time. So most agents are trained to be very unemotionally attached. On to the next, on to the next, on to the next, just to get as many deals as they can. And they can tend to be an asshole to people. They can tend to be cold-hearted to clients. They can tend to be ruthless with other agents, not wanting to do a co-broke because they don't want to split their fee. They can become crazy just to get there. And that's where this whole image of horrible bad agents, the tacky agents and car salesmen, if you will, no offense to the car industry, agents come from. Because the integrity is not needed so much in order to produce a big volume of sales. Well, that's wrong. Integrity still is needed. You know, what you need to be doing is eventually is when you're dealing with other agents, set up contracts so nobody can screw you. When you're dealing with a bunch of clients, spend sufficient amount of time with each client. And if you can't, start learning to build a team that can go spend the time with those clients. You're all gonna have to work together. Because, you know, oh, I don't want to split my fees. Bullshit. Bullshit. There's no way in hell that you can do real estate in a bunch of different counties, you know, streamlessly, because it's going to take a lot of time. There's no way you could cover every deal, every client's expectations. So you're going to have to work with each other regardless. That's how you win, guys. So, but you have to keep the integrity of going, it's important that I choose the right people to work with. It's important that I handle my paperwork the right way. It's so that I'm protected legally. It's important that I help, you know, raise the expectations of each client. And not just raise the expectations of the client, but also provide them with a solution if you can't be there because you have to be in this county. So there's a couple tips I want to give you guys. I want to knock this out in under 7 minutes because people got work to do. So if you're watching this, thank you for watching it. I hope my outfit looks good. I feel like I'm in the Matrix. And if you're not watching it, I hope you're driving safe. And it's the audio in your ear pod, right? And this has been by far the longest agent tips of the day so far. If you guys need any help, shoot me a message. If it's one-on-one consulting, we could talk about that. If you need content, it's all free on my pages. Just check out the link in the bio. Thank you so much, Enzo Real Estate, and the world's yours.